Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Agostino Zinga Show with your host, Agostino Zinga, and this is episode number 810. That is 810. That is 810 of the Agostino Zinga Show with your host, Agostino Zinga, coming at you live and direct from an undisclosed location somewhere in the depths of London. How you doing? How you feeling? Great, amazing. How am I? All good. Cannot complain. Although I will complain because this is a podcast and this is the very, 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 very purpose of such a platform. To complain and to moan and to cry and to complain and to moan and to B-word again and again and again. How have I been this past couple of days and weeks since I've last saw you? Pretty good, not gonna lie, pretty flipping good. Been really busy with work, doing all of that malarkey, living my life, trying to get things sorted on my side of town and all of that good stuff and everything else in between. Hence why I've been a bit of a no-show on the old pods and stuff. But this week and going on, we will be back on the saddle, back as normal, no delay, no charge. For those of you who are waiting for streams such as the random show to kick off and more Tazs shows, please be aware that this week we should be going into hyperdrive and loads of good content should be coming at you very soon, very quickly, very soon, very quickly. I'm really excited going forward now because I finally have got my second channel sorted. If you're not familiar, I had to split both channels, or I had to split channels because I had, this main channel has been demonetized. So I wanted just to make things a bit more separate and just make things clean and whatever it may be, branding wise and, direction wise. So now Random Show will sit on its own channel, which you can find on YouTube. If you just type in Random Show, my name, you can find that very easily. There's also a link to that in the description if you want to check it out. And then Tazs will be primarily my cultural commentary based podcast, which I'm really happy about. So now I'll have things split up nice and even so I can attack things where they need to be. So I'm very happy about that. But it'll obviously mean double the work, which I'm happy about. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining about it, but it will be double the effort because I'm going to have to be putting in as much effort clipping the clips on the other channel and obviously clipping the clips on this channel and obviously doing a social media as well. I have to figure out what social media platform I want to do. I'll probably end up doing Twitter instead of Instagram, or maybe I'll do an Instagram Reels account. I don't know. I'll figure it out in the end. But I'm excited about it going forward. Talking about social media, I've suddenly or currently or recently started to use my Instagram a lot more, and I've now had to step away from it again because of just how much of a time sink it is, and because I've got this really strange thing. I'm sure some of you guys probably feel the same way, but I've got this really strange thing where I really dislike seeing people's life updates. Not sure if that makes any sense to you, but I honestly dislike how Instagram forces you to see or to find out what people are up to. Now, I understand the algorithm works because I think the algorithm, what it does, because for me, I have like several accounts. I have like flipping Finsters and stuff that I use, or random accounts that I use to check, dance music news and whatever. So I won't log into my main account. So because I haven't technically logged in, my algorithm probably forces me to see stuff from my friends that they think I would like to see because it's updates on their lives. But they don't know that I don't want to see that, right? The main reason why I don't want to be on that platform is because you kept getting given like a people's play-by-play. It's almost like a visual diary. You'll get into and it's like a lot of these people, I don't really speak to them that much. I don't really know who they are anymore. I kind of knew who they were at one point in their life. I think they knew me at one point in my life. We're not really in the same places anymore. So to find out what they're doing is just annoying. Don't get me wrong. It's nice for the first time. You check in and he's like, oh shit, there's that person I remember hanging out with. This person now is married. That person now has a kid. This person has a dog. That person, unfortunately, a family member passed away. It's nice to know this so you can kind of offer your condolences and whatnot, or send over your well wishes. But I hate how it's like done by force. Like, I'm not learning this stuff the normal way. Where back in the day you might, bump into this person at a bar. You might bump into them on the street somewhere, walking down Columbia Road Flower Market, like, oh shit, what's going on? Long time no see. You might be in Shoreditch going to buy some magazines, and then you bump into them, oh yeah, wagwan, and then you get a little rundown on their life story. Cool, no problem. But I'm being forced to know, and I don't like that. I don't like being forced to know. So I'm not really enjoying my experience on there. But I have also realized in my time going back on Instagram and flicking in between Instagram and Twitter, I've now realized how toxic Twitter is. Because I think because I use Twitter so often, I'm reading people's stuff, and I just, when I'm finished, I just check out of it and I just continue my day. I think because now I've been using Instagram more often, I can now compare and contrast. And yeah, what people say about Twitter is true, isn't it? Twitter is a cesspit of negativity. Instagram is almost like the positive version of Twitter, really. So I understand why people prefer to use Instagram. But like I said, I think Instagram sort of like forces you to share stuff about your life that you probably don't need to share. It forces you to learn things about people that you don't really know that well, that you shouldn't probably know. And in general, it's just an annoying platform, really. It just is an annoying platform. I just find it personally annoying. I'd much rather read things, articles, see random funny clips on my flipping feed on Twitter than I am to see another person at a festival, another person on holiday, another person buying. It's like, shut. I don't care. I really don't. Congratulations to you. I'm happy you got these things, but I don't care. But it forces you to know it because people kind of want to engage that sort of information. So it kind of is what it is. But unfortunately, there is no like, I won't say perfect platform, but I guess you have to get what you want out of each one. So maybe if you want like goss, if you want news, if you want drama, you go on Twitter. If you want like visual stimuli, you go on Instagram. I know there are some people who just stick to using Instagram Reels. I don't really use it that much, to be fair, but I know there are some people who just like stay on Reels. They just go one video after the other. They just spend all day on fucking Reels or sending each other memes and shit. So it's a bit different. When I was using it for a bit, I was kind of, making my own quote unquote memes on my IG stories and stuff. But even that got a bit boring and tired. I was like, well, why am I sharing this? What am I? Am I like a meme page now? Have I become a meme page? Am I fucking Aggie Bible? Is that what I am? Am I fucking Aggie Bible? Have I become my own independent vice? Like, allow it. So I'm not on any of those anymore, just because of how much of a time sink they are. And I have noticed, though, to be fair, since I've been back on IG definitely is more of a time sink. I feel like it wasted way more of your time being on there. I feel like I've missed out, or I've kind of taken my foot off the pedal on a lot of work, like actual 9-to-5 stuff, actual extracurricular stuff, side project stuff, because of the time I spend on IG. Like, you can tell it definitely does take away a lot of your time. And sometimes you don't even realize it. You're like on there and just suddenly you're on like you're on this random page, someone else's page you don't even fucking know, and it's been an hour. You're like, oh shit. You know what I mean? Whereas I think with Twitter, because of the nature of how toxic it is, there's only so much of it you can take. I think there's probably not a soul on the earth who can stay on Twitter for like the whole day. You have to have a break. But I think with IG, if you wanted to, you could stay on there for an entire day and not get any work done happily. So I'm happy I've kind of taken my foot off the pedal on both of those things. Be like, you know what? Let's leave it as it is, and do whatever it may be. And to be completely honest, like, being back on those platforms has made me kind of like, or made me appreciate taking pictures again, and even making videos, like little vlogs and shit. Like, I'd much rather capture my experience of where I went somewhere with, some nice 35mm pictures and shit, maybe some nice videos that I put together in a little vlog that I upload on my YouTube or something, or I put then later on and make that into a clip and edit and then put that on my socials. But showing like a play-by-play IG story of me going on a trip somewhere, that's never gonna happen. Like, never, ever, ever. Those days are way gone. You'll see stuff like after the fact, like after I've come back for like 2 weeks, you might see some posts go up, but mostly they'll probably be like 35mm pictures, because at least then I'm in the moment, and I'm actually enjoying the thing, and I've kind of found that to be something that I've enjoyed way more. And to be fair, anyway, the last couple of times I've been away, I haven't actually even mentioned them on the pod, but the times I've been away, I haven't even taken any pictures anyway. I've just been there enjoying my fucking time, having a good time, doing what I need to do, and then coming back and whatever it may be. But I need to kind of upload a play-by-play of like, oh, here's me on the way to the plane. Here's me at the fucking gate. Here's me with the window seat looking out for the fucking window. It's like, bro, no one needs to see that. We all go on holiday. We all see things. We all do things. It's like, it's not really that interesting, really. But everyone just shares it. It's just like an auto, it's like an auto thing. Everyone just shares it. Oh, look, here's me doing that. Boom, boom, boom. So I'm kind of tired of it, so I let it go. But it was fun for the time being. But again, I was just annoyed that I was getting updated with people's fucking life updates again and again. It's like, bro, I don't want to know about what you're doing. I don't really care. I'm sure you don't even care about what you're doing, but you're just sharing it because the platform is a platform. So it is what it is. But as I said before, I have realized how much of a hater platform Twitter is, mostly because of Notting Hill Carnival. I didn't go to Notting Hill Carnival this year. I'm probably never going to go again ever anyway, because I think, Notting Hill Carnival is probably something you do during a certain era of your life. I feel like there's certain things you probably just let go of. I'm a big stickler, or I'm very steadfast in that idea of like having your life be made up of moments or phases. So when you have a particular moment, you love it, you enjoy it, but when it's over, and then you can kind of savor it, and you can kind of look back on it with, you know, with a smile. But trying to relive your past is always a bit lame. So I think the Notting Hill Carnival thing, when you do it, you do it. When you don't want to do it, you kind of let it go. So anyway, I know it's always fun. I know it's a great time. No one can ever lie and say Notting Hill Carnival shit. It's not. Notting Hill Carnival is one of the best carnivals, one of the best things you can do in the UK, hands down. We don't really have a lot of like fun things to do here. There's not a lot of fun outdoor things, a lot of fun, quote unquote, free things to do. So going to Notting Hill Carnival, where you get to celebrate, you know, Trinidadian, Caribbean culture in all its guises, black culture in all its guises, London culture in all its guises, from the food to the music to the sounds to the colors to the outfits, all that malarkey. It's fucking amazing. But it is one of those type of things that if you don't go, you don't know how good it is. It's weird. It's like there's certain things that you see, like, I don't know, Glastonbury being a good example. Glastonbury looks amazing on stream. You can tell that looks fucking amazing. People's IG stories, you know, BBC live streams, YouTube live streams. You can tell Glastonbury looks fucking sick. But I think Notting Hill Carnival doesn't come across as sick online as it does when you're in person. When you're like in the crowds of people following these floats around, catching a quick wine, seeing some crazy person dancing off the bridge, seeing some person clearly smashed on their, you know, off their faces, lying on the street, a fight kicking off, food, yeah, that. It's fucking amazing. So you have to actually be there to actually enjoy it. But I feel like this year was probably one of the only years I probably recognize it because I'm on Twitter more. But I saw so many people on fucking Twitter hating on Notting Hill Carnival from the comfort of their own homes and saying how bad it was and all the violence. It's like, bro, you're always going to get an element of like violence and just, you know, pent up aggression and activity just because you put a bunch of people from London all in one spot, all in one area, right? Condensed, like compact into one area or into a couple of streets. You're definitely going to get some issues that are going to arise. But I don't think it's any different to Reading, Leeds, you know, whatever that fucking horse race is that all the white people go to and shit. There's a bunch of things. Even boxing every other fucking month that happens here in London, especially if it's a big card, there's always trouble that kicks off. It just is what it is. That's part of the reason why the government can't really trust us with, you know, these type of events. And they have to be very well kind of looked after and policed and stuff. They don't really let people kind of do crazy shit because they know if they leave us our own devices, we'll turn this whole fucking city, you know, upside down. And in some regards, we'll turn this whole fucking island upside down. So they can't really let us do it. But I don't think the violence thing is that big of an issue. But of course, so the people who are out there who are crying and haven't been around for a while, they don't know that this is just a natural order of things, a standard. But the good always outweighs the bad. And Notting Hill Carnival is legitimately one of the funnest places to go to in London, especially during the summer. And it's a great way to kind of sort, you know, quote unquote, end the summer as well. So this is an article courtesy of the BBC. It says 8 stabbed and 334 arrests in Notting Hill Carnival. Another doom-mongery type of posts. They always like to kind of drum up these posts because I feel like, in general, the government has kind of done a good job in terms of just allowing the carnival to exist. Because I feel like in maybe previous years or maybe in previous times, Carnival would have gone away by now because there's enough bad press around it, a lot of negativity, especially around some of the mundeles of this flipping country who don't like us having fun, that they would have locked it off. So the fact that they haven't is maybe a testament to the people who organize Carnival, the local people, charities, councils, or just generally the government being afraid of locking off one, you know, one of the only things that fucking niggas have here to enjoy ourselves and, you know, turn this country into a fucking one big box park. Like, no one fucking wants that. So continuing on with this article, it says 8 people were stabbed during Notting Hill Carnival with a total of 334 people being arrested during the event. There were 3 stabbings on Sunday, with one victim being young mother who was with a child. She remains critical condition. Obviously not good, but I would say most likely a lot of festivals here in London have similar levels. If there was a festival here in London that was available to be open to the crowd or open air, kind of, you know, open to the public without a ticket and shit, I think they'd have these levels of arrest as well. And arrest can occur for anything. Arrest could be because you pissed on the side of a tree. An arrest could be because you were a bit too handsy with somebody. An arrest could be for anything. It doesn't even need to be something like super aggressive or violent. That's where people could get arrested for. And usually, in some cases, police can be a little bit hands-off and chill. But in some cases, they could also be a very aggressive to kind of stamp out some of that early dissent. and send a message to people. It continues. On Monday, 5 people were stabbed, and two of those were attacked, have critically injured. The Met said a total of 50 police officers have been injured during the event, while most of these arrests were possession of offensive weapon or drug offences. I don't really have any sympathy for officers that get injured. It's the nature of the job. You know, that's what it is. You put yourself in that kind of, you know, in that sort of occupation, you're going to run into some sort of risk. Obviously, you don't want to see them getting hurt fatally, but I don't think, you know, we should fucking weep for police officers, you know, getting injured. It's part and parcel of the job. It's like a ticket attendant getting pissed off, people are swearing at them. It's like, what do you expect? This is your job. You're a ticket attendant, you're a parking attendant. People are going to say some swear words to you. People are going to be angry at your mere presence. It kind of is what it is. It continues. More than 1 in 5 million people were expected at the carnival on Monday, a majority of whom police said were had come there to celebrate, with a minority of the people using it as an opportunity to commit crime, including violence. Thousands of officers were deployed in the annual street party, which the force said was challenging the event with the police with very dense crowds. The organizer of the carnival said it's closely with the police to dedicated partners. The statement added that there is no excuse for violence and it is not a carnival. The carnival is for people who dedicated so much time, love, and incredible creativity to the parade, sound system, music, and food and costumes. The people of Carnival are part of the solution, providing community cohesion, a place for young people to gather, create, express themselves, and for all generations of communities to come together all year round. It also benefits London as a whole, generating 369 million for the economy, according to recent studies. Yeah, which is pretty cool, right? It was pretty cool. All these people from all over Europe coming over to London to experience Carnival was pretty fucking sick. You hear so many good stories from people saying these type of things, especially with London being so multicultural. It must be quite nice because you don't really I doubt you probably get Carnival experience in anywhere else in Europe apart from London with that level of like diversity. You know, seeing so many people from all these different Caribbean islands, Africa, just different places around the world, all congregating and celebrating Carnival must be quite gnarly, because you usually only get that when you go to the actual place, when you go to actual Caribbean, when you go to parts of South America. So it must be quite cool for those people to see that sort of thing outside of where it would probably really exist. And it's done in the most authentic way possible, with all the floats, all the steel drums and shit, all the food, all the color and shit. It must be fucking amazing for people that go. So big up everyone that does fucking attend. You got some good pictures here. A total of 104 people were arrested on Sunday, with 230 arrests being made on Monday. In 2 attacks, victims were sustained with slash wounds, and 1 incident involved a corrosive substance. 3 firearms were recovered, and 49 arrests to other weapons. 1 of those arrested was wanted for attempted murder at Hackney. There were 8 stabbings and 275 arrests. Yo, the BBC, man, all this negativity. Why don't they make a roundup of all the good things that happened, right? All the people that found love, all the people that, you know, missed connections, people that bumped into relatives they haven't seen in a while, all the fucking, you know, the good, all the happy stories, people that had a rough year and Carnival was their time to fucking celebrate and let their hair down and put a smile on their faces, or put a smile on other people's faces, like local communities that come together to sort of like, you know, gather their resources to help each other. Like, honestly, why couldn't that be the case? Why couldn't that be the case? Why'd it have to be this just, you know, a whole collection of negativity? Don't get me wrong, each sentence is very, very bad, but can we focus on the positive, please? Is that possible? Met Police Deputy Assistant Commissioner Ade Adilikan said on the weekend the carnival was supposed to be for Family Day, but was marred by unacceptable violence. We are tired of saying the same words every year, he said. We are tired of telling families that their loved ones are seriously injured or worse. We are tired of seeing crime scenes at Carnival. During the previous 2 carnivals, 1 person was killed, 14 others were stabbed, and more than 125 officers were assaulted. So this year was a win. This year was a net win, because this year no one died. From what I'm aware of, no one actually died at Carnival. Cross your fingers, cross your toes. So this year was a win. About 500 arrests were made in the Carnival during the 2 years. Measures were taken to reduce crime, including officers being given greater stop and search powers and being allowed to order the removal of face coverings. The Met said that it would work with event organizers for months to secure the event. To be fair, if you go to Carnival and you see somebody with a shiesty on, especially considering how hot it is in London, and I've been, you know, you've heard me on a pod complain and cry and bitch and moan and be really pathetic about the heat, but it's really crazy hot here in London. And it's crazy hot because we're not really a country built for heat. We don't really have air conditioning in most places. There's no real good shade anywhere. There's no real nice places to sit out on the outside. Most of our homes are built to insulate heat and not really keep us cool. It's a nightmare. So if you see anybody in London with a shiesty on, run. If you see anybody with a balaclava, with anything, ski mask in London, don't hang around them. Don't be in their vicinity. That person's up to no good, because there's no reason why you should be wearing that. There's no reason why you should be wearing that in this heat. If they're wearing it, they're up to no good. So a bit of common sense is needed also, you know? Don't be a tourist with your phone out, you know, talking about how much money you're going to spend at fucking Nobu, standing next to some guy who's covering the entirety of their body apart from their eyes. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. And don't cry about it later. Kensington Chelsea Council said rubbish to the equivalent of the weight of 27 London buses had so far been cleared from the streets. Approximately 30% of the waste will be recycled. So, like I said before, I think when it comes to Carnival, a lot of the good in Carnival, you have to go there and see for yourself. You're not going to get it from these fucking articles from the BBC and stuff. They're always going to ramp on and harp on about the negativity. But in general, as a place to go to celebrate what London's all about, I think Carnival is one of the best experiences ever you can do. You should always at least go once. I used to go every single year for a long time. Then I stopped because I grew up and it's just not something that I kind of care about anymore. And like I said before, I'm big on phases. Once that phase is over, kind of leave it in the rearview mirror. But if you are a recent transplant to London, you should visit Carnival at least once. At least once. Especially on a Sunday. Because at least on the Sunday, it's a kids' day. So it's maybe not as rambunctious as a Monday. But you should at least experience it on the Sunday or the Monday just to see the vibe. Because the vibes are immaculate. The sounds, like, you don't ever go anywhere in London and hear music volume of that level, because most local councils have very strict rules about how high you can have certain volume, certain clubs are not open, blah blah blah. There's loads of stringy, annoying rules around how to enjoy yourself in London. So the noise will just kick you, you know, will just lift you off your feet in the first place. Then the smells, oh my god, some of the best food you've ever had, the best Caribbean food you've ever had will be experienced at Carnival, because all the best London Caribbean restaurants, some of which I don't even know about, some of which are super hidden, underground, hole in the walls, only locals know type of spots. They come to Carnival to show off what they do. They come to Carnival to get new customers. They come to Carnival just to kind of, you know, celebrate Caribbean culture. So all of those places all come, and some of them as well are just catering services that don't even have fucking shops. So you're getting to taste things that you would never be able to taste. So you go to experience all at Carnival, and it's legitimately some of the best food you're ever going to have, some of the best vibes you're ever going to have, and it's one of the only things that probably makes you fall in love with London. Apart from maybe festivals, and maybe, you know, maybe when Wimbledon comes around, and sometimes the football season when it starts and shit. Carnival's definitely one of those times you're like, you know what, London's a fucking great city, but it's just a shame we don't get that sort of vibes or ambiance on a fucking daily basis or on a yearly basis, or, you know, more often. Let's just say more often. But yeah, but big up Carnival. I'm a big lover of it. I don't like anybody else that hates it. Anybody else that hates it can go and spin on my little toe. Big up the stream chat. Big up everyone in the stream chat. Appreciate all of you. What's going on there? Hey, Wagwan. See you, Ashley. Wagwan. Auntie Ashley in the chat. Bronze Arm View, I see you. Jordan Ray, I see you. What's happening, everybody? Don Dotter, I see you. What's going on? Joe from MIA, I see you. How you doing? Andre, I see you. What you doing? Coil, I see you. How you doing? Big up everybody in the stream chat. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate all of you. Talking about Carnival, I also thought this tweet from Laurence Fox was actually funny. Obviously, Laurence Fox is, you know, maybe not the biggest fan of people that look like me. Obviously. Maybe Laurence Fox is the UK's version of fucking Nick Fuentes and shit, right? Maybe. Even though he has a, you know, he has a taste for the racially ambiguous women out there. Even though he doesn't like people that look like me, you know, he likes the odd non-whites himself. But less said about that, the better. Even though this tweet isn't meant to be a tweet to encourage people like me to go to these type of events, I still think it's important to highlight. Laurence Fox tweeted this following. Next year, let's have a British Carnival, a celebration of being British. DM me and let's get this show on the road. Everyone is invited. Black, brown, yellow or white, but British. Let's do that next year. It'll be fun, generally inclusive, a Great British Carnival. You know what's really funny? We should have more of that. That's the ironic thing. Even though he's probably being a little bit racist And even though you probably wouldn't want people like me to go there, we probably do need way more of these outdoor open air celebration type things that I feel like had in the past. And I feel like I'm making things up as I go along, but I swear there was a time in the UK, especially maybe after World War II, or maybe after even World War One, where to kind of, you know, get them around the country up, we had these sort of like street things where people would like sit outside and share food amongst neighbors and just party and have a good time. And I think that was a standard thing in the UK, especially outside of London. People, small towns, people would kind of like, you know, congregate outside. They want to take the kids' minds off of the war and the bombs dropping all over the place, and people be playing outside having a good time, sharing food, sharing drinks, having the vibes. But for some reason, that sort of tradition kind of died out, and the only thing that's left of in that sort of ilk, in that carnival ilk, is Notting Hill Carnival. That's the only thing. But if you're a, you know, stringent, I'm English, not British type of person, if you're a fan of the BNP, if you're a Millwall supporter and shit, you're probably not the biggest fan of Carnival. You probably want your version of it, where you can kind of go, get a packet, you know, finger bang some bartender, drink some pints, maybe beat some guy up on the street. Maybe he's brown, maybe he's not. You want that sort of event. So maybe you need your own event too. Maybe that's what's necessary. Maybe we need every sort of like racial makeup in London to have ability to have their own carnival, so that they will stop hating on Notting Hill Carnival. Maybe if we give everybody a carnival, there'll be less pressure and less attention, less negativity put on Notting Hill Carnival, because maybe some of these non-blacks and some of these non-Caribbean people look at Notting Hill Carnival with a bit of jealousy, which I understand why, because there's not a lot of times in London where you can have like outdoor fun for free. So they look at you and think, hold on, why did the blacks get to do this little fun thing and celebrate, have a good time and drink and be all jovial and whatever it may be? But us whites, the people that have built this country, the people whose country this belongs to, we don't get to do that outside, you know? Because if they go and, you know, if some of the football lads are a bit too loud and rambunctious outside, the police will come around and tell them to settle down. They can't exactly be sitting on the streets and be drinking pints of beer and be loud. They'll be told to move away. So I see their frustration. So maybe the solution might be to give every racial demographic their own carnival. Hey, this is your carnival. This is your day to do what you want to do, whether it's beat your wife in the streets, whether it's kick your dogs in front of people, whatever you need to do, you can do it on this particular day. And then when the other people, with the other segment of the, you know, the other minorities in the world do what they want to do, you don't then chastise them because you've got your day. That's what we need to do. So Laurence Fox might be onto something. Maybe everybody needs their own carnival. Maybe that's what's actually necessary. Maybe everyone needs their own carnival. It's sort of like similar when like when you're young and your parents are buying you and your siblings the same clothes. Maybe there comes a times where you're like, you know what? I need my own clothes. I don't care if it's a crappier hoodie compared to my brother or sister, but I need my own hoodie that they don't have. So there's no confusion. So I have my hoodie, they have their hoodie, and we can live our separate lives. And if we want to bicker between each other, we can. But there's none of this kind of, oh, you took mine, no, you took mine. No. They're both different. One's blue, one's black, one's yellow, one's red, one's white, one's brown, right? And then we go on from there. Maybe that's what's necessary. Maybe. Will it happen? Probably not, but I'd like to see it happen. Like some sort of like, I don't know, British Day, UK Day, GBR Day, right? BNP Day, NF Day, you know? That would be fucking sick. That would be sick. That would be absolutely hilarious. I would love it. I would love it. I would absolutely, guess what? Yes, you guessed it. Love it, love it, love it. Continuing on about things I love. Continuing on about things I love. I've had it up to here. I've had it up to here with people online, especially some of the people within my little techno community scene, bitching, complaining, and moaning about certain rave collectives. And this particular point I want to make is regarding Eerste Communie. Eerste Communie are a little collective techno scene people, mostly from Amsterdam, made up of people like, you know, Maron and Rene Wise, who popularized a particular type of techno. I don't know if you call it tribal, groovy, whatever it may be. They throw a lot of fun raves all over Europe, mostly in Amsterdam, some in Berlin, some in London. People have fun, people have a good time. But they've kind of built a bit of a reputation of being the new cool guys in the scene, right? Which I think is a bit lame, because I think inherently if you're into techno and you go to and you kind of wrap your whole personality around going to nightclubs and shit, you're essentially a dork anyway. It's impossible to be cool if your entire personality is made up about, you know, a certain type of music you listen to and how high the BPM is. It's impossible. But there is, in that little niche, certain people who are regarded as the cool kids. So in this particular techno scene, this collective Eerste Communie are the cool kids. They do these fun events, or they do these fun raves. Usually they announce only a couple of weeks before the rave's about to happen. Usually, you know, pictures are allowed. There's usually a long list of fucking things you have to do and not be able to do to get in. All this really wanky shit. But in general, the parties are really fun. Now, a lot of the people that go to these raves are the type of people that a lot of people maybe in the scene aren't really fans of. The ones who are kind of, you know, very aware of their coolness. Maybe some of the fucking GHB monsters out there, but whatever. They kind of have a particular sort of persona and vibe and attitude when they go to sort of parties. The only issue that I'm having with this sort of moaning is that I feel like at this point, if you don't know what an Eerste Communie event is about and what they represent and type of people that go there, shut the fuck up and go somewhere else. I've had enough. Not every rave you go to should be, in my opinion, the easiest, the nicest, the most inclusive thing to go to. Sometimes you're going to go to a party, you're going to go to a place where it's just going to stink from the minute you're there. Whether it stinks of pussy, whether it stinks of feet, whether it stinks of unshowered rave people, whatever it is, you're going to go somewhere where it stinks. And I think those places are just as important as the places that you go to where the vibes are immaculate. Where from the minute you see the flyer, from the minute you interact with somebody on the DMs, or you leave a comment under the IG, you get a good vibe. You're meant to have shitty people in the scene because they make you appreciate the good people in the scene. And not even the good, the nicer people. The people that act the shittiest make you appreciate the nicer people. Don't try and change these people and how they behave and how they go about doing things. It's perfectly fine how they do things. Now, can it be annoying? Yes. Can it hurt your ego? Yes. Can it damage your pride? Yes. Can it make you question everything that you know in life when some, you know, spotty septum nose piercing wearing person makes you feel less than because you don't have the same clothes on or because you couldn't name someone in the lineup? Is it ridiculous? Yes, but it is what it is. That's their space. That's their thing they created. Let them rock. If you don't like how they run their thing, go somewhere else. Just go somewhere else because I'm not going to lie. I am so fed up with the moaning. Everybody just moaning and complaining and bitching and saying all this. And it's like, bruh, what did you expect? And the reason why I brought this up is because I saw this post on my favorite subreddit, the Berghain community subreddit, talking a little bit about some of the issues that people are having going to Eerste Communie. And look at this post. Look at this. Look at all of this crying and complaining on this post. To be honest, instead of blaming G, I think it's a fashion problem. People blaming, what's the issue with like Eerste Communie? Why is it so weird? Why is the vibe so bad? They're blaming it on fashion. Can you imagine? They're blaming it on fashion. Oh, they wear too many harnesses. The soles of their Dr. Martens are too thick. Their jeans have too many rips in them. They've got too many shitty tattoos. Come on, bro. The entire crowd comes from an egocentric background. So, of course, there's hostility and bad vibes. Then the drug behavior comes after. But for me, there are not people who like music, but people who want to feel different and exclusive while also taking drugs to enjoy said music until the next trend comes. It's not even a question about the music. See also 444. Now, this person could be right, but is that a problem? Is there an issue if there's a collective out there that does raves that specifically cater to people who care a bit more about their image, who care a bit more about getting fucked up, who care a bit more about the vibes and about who's there and who's being seen? There's nothing wrong with that, because if you want to go to a purist chin stroker about the music for the heads event, there's plenty of them that exist as well. So they occupy their niche, they serve their audience, that's fine. If you don't like it, go somewhere else. I don't see the issue. Another person. Without spoiling the fun for others or disrespect for anyone, for me personally, this is called Tribal Hard Groove, Rene Wise rip-off sound that comes with its platform. It's starting to get pretty boring and bland. Techno is so much more than this. I will make a hot take. Techno by itself is boring. Subgenres are always boring. There's only a finite amount of sounds you can kind of extract from that particular subgenre. That's why dance music, electronic music in general, is basically the best overarching sort of like genre to kind of operate under, because there's so many different sounds and vibes you can kind of extract and pull from. Just operating in one small tiny niche, it's gonna get boring. Yes, I'm sorry. Continually going to the same oots raves is gonna get tired. Continually going to Fabric, going to Fold, going to Berghain, going to fucking Blitz, going to this, that. It's gonna get boring after a while. It doesn't matter who plays, who does the lineup, what collective is coming through, it's gonna get boring. But being into the overarching dance music, electronic music is where it gets fresh and where it gets interesting. But will these motherfuckers do it? No, because they also want to be cool. You want to be cool, you want to wear your black trenches, you want to look sad and miserable all the time? Cool, here's your music. But it's gonna have a bit of a, it's gonna have a bit of a ceiling. It kind of is what it is. Another person. I've been observing this group in the techno scene for a while, and I have to say, they come across as very pretentious. Really? You're posting about pretentiousness in the Berghain subreddit, one of the most pretentious nightclubs and establishments in the world. Of course it's pretentious. That's why you want to go. That's the whole point. If it wasn't pretentious, why would you give a fuck? Pretentiousness. What? There's a noticeable lack of openness when it comes to meeting new people. Excuse me, but if you're going somewhere at night, maybe being open to everybody that you meet isn't a great idea. Maybe you should wait to gauge how people act before you just open yourself up to people, especially after 9 p.m. As my parents used to say, nothing good happens after 9 p.m. A lot of fugazi shit happens in nightclubs. Maybe being super open and cheery and bubbly and handsy and happy-go-lucky isn't the best way to kind of operate in this type of places, especially if you're going to see a DJ. See the DJ, do your drugs in the toilet, drink your drink, and go, keep it moving. It ain't that deep. It continues. One of the reasons I love going to parties is for these moments when you lock eyes with somebody, share a smile, and then continue dancing. Bruh, don't get me wrong. Those scenarios are quite nice. We've all had them. First experience raving, second, third, fourth, whatever. We've had them. Great. But they're quite rare. Let's also be honest. They are quite rare. It's not all the time that you go to raves and you have this like emotional, spiritual, guttural experience where you connect with people around you in this really strange, symbiotic, without words exchange way. It doesn't happen all the time. Most of the time, it's just another fucking, whatever, random Caucasian person behind a couple of decks on a table in front of some fucking dark screen playing the same shit we all hear on fucking Hard Wax, Juno, and all the other shit. It is what it is. Come on, let's just relax. I totally get that when you're really into music, you might not always want to engage. But with this group, it feels like if you're not one of them, you're not simply not welcome. This extends to everything, including clothing styles and fashion choices. I have to be honest and say, coming from London, one of the most, I think, uptight, pretentious, cliquey scenes that exist, for the most part, all the stuff you're saying is in your head. A lot of people can be rude, but for the most part, if you make the effort to actually say hi first, if you make the effort to be quote-unquote open first, if you make the effort to make friends and all that malarkey, usually these same people that you think are up there on ass, usually their guard comes down. It doesn't take much. Just going to a couple of events, saying the odd hi, the odd head nod, the odd forced conversation at the bar, waiting for your, overpriced fucking JD and Coke. It's not hard. So a lot of these fucking things that you're saying are mostly things that are in your own head. If you make the effort to say hi first, you'll be okay. Another thing that stands out in this way is the way that they dance. They dance badly. Yo, everyone in techno dance badly, to be fair. That fucking left, right stomp thing everyone does. I don't know. It seems very racist to me whenever I see people do it. I don't know why. I just think of them fucking stepping on the skulls of black people and shit. I don't know. But in general, everyone dances horrible in techno. It continues. There's a specific style that seems to have become the norm, but to me it feels forced and not very genuine. I've been going to parties for years and I don't recall ever seeing these kinds of dances before. It's like, you see, they're feeling the racismo that's kind of seeping through this left, right, New Rock, Dr. Martin stomp. You know what I mean? This is like a plantation stomp. This is like to get all the fucking workers back on the plantation. You know what I mean? It's a bit aggressive. Again, I could be reading too much into it, but that's the vibe that I get. Whenever I see somebody stomping right to left, I run away. I might even leave the venue. I might even leave the venue in tears if I see a white person just stomping from right to left and do that fucking shoulder fucking dance. You know what I mean? It's like, yo. Relax, okay? It continues. I've been going to parties for years, and I don't ever recall seeing dances like this before. It's like you need to dance a certain way to be accepted in the community, which takes away from the freedom of dancing should embody. For me, dancing is about moving however you feel without the pressure of conform to a specific style. Yo, again, this is all in your head. I think personally, people out there are probably taking way too many drugs, myself included, are probably drinking too much, myself included, and are probably being way too paranoid, myself included. You have to really step away from yourself for the most part. I'm not sure if you agree with me or not. No one actually cares that you're even there. Let's just get that out of the way. No one gives a fuck that you're there. Nobody cares that you're even there. So to build up this whole narrative and this whole story around your presence and your place and the dancing is fucking redacted. Redacted. Actually, I'm demonetized. It's retarded. It's textbook, caps lock, R-lock, retarded. It really is. Nobody cares about you that much. If anything, the real sign of freedom is going to these parties, seeing everybody dancing a certain way and you dancing another way. That's why certain times when I go to raves, I sometimes have my back to the fucking booth. I'll sometimes be dancing in some random corner. I'll sometimes be just doing my own thing somewhere else. I might be sitting on the floor. I might be fucking jumping up and down. I might be fucking doing burpees, whatever. I'm going to mix up because I'm having my own fun time, especially here in London. You're paying fucking, what, £20 plus? Sometimes in shitty clubs, you're paying £30 plus without fucking cloakrooms, without your price of drugs, without the price of a drink, without your fucking transport there and back, without the flipping, you know, McDonald's on the way home. You're probably spending easy, some nights, minimum £100. You're telling me you're going to spend £100 minimum to go to a club and then you're going to be worried about how people think you're dancing. Fuck that. Do you. Do what you want to do. Enjoy how you want to enjoy. And you know what happens? Sometimes, if you go there and you're your true self and you express yourself the way you want to express yourself and you just have fun, you let your hair down, guess what? That might signal to some other motherfuckers out there who are a bit shy and a bit in the, you know, a bit kind of closed off. They might want to come to you now because they see how free you are. Then suddenly, guess what? Boom. You have your little collective. You have your little community. You have your little crew. Now you're feeling comfortable. Now you're the ringleader. You see? Now you're Eerste Communie. See how quickly that happened? Additionally, some friends who attended EC party noticed something troubling. If you dance differently on the dance floor, some people will stand and dance right on your spot. Shut up. What does this even mean? So if you don't do the whole fucking I'm a racist left right fucking techno stomp, people will what? Stand next to you and like what? Ego you. Aura you out, barge you out, vibe you out. Man, stand your ground. Give them a little shoulder barge back. What the fuck's this about? Acting like you're doing nothing wrong. Effectively pushing you out of the way. One friend even had someone flick his ear, but he couldn't identify who did it. To me, this is behavior of some form of bullying on a dance floor. Yo, someone was probably just trying to fuck you. Somebody was literally just trying to get your attention to fuck, or to ask you for a lighter, or ask you for a bump, and here you thinking they're trying to bully you. It really isn't that deep, honestly. The amount of times I've been touched, groped, stroked, sucked on, spat on, you know, in a nightclub. If I turned all those occasions into like some sort of bullying thing, come on, bro, it's not that deep. And also, if somebody bullies you in a nightclub, you probably deserved it. If you let somebody bully you in a nightclub, you probably deserved it. In the end, everyone is free to party how they want. I'm not here to point fingers, but for me, it just isn't the kind of party I want to be a part of. Now, this last point is very true. You're free to go to any party you want to go to. I don't even believe this is a good or a fair or an accurate representation of what Eerste Communie is about. But let's say it is. Go elsewhere. There are so many reports of what they do and what they're about and what the vibe is. Again, take it with all the pinch of salt. If this isn't for you, go somewhere else. I just hate the constant people keep going to these events, not fully aware of what they're going to maybe expect or see, then get surprised and then complaining about it. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. It's just annoying. It really is. Last one, I move on to the Instagram comments. Weird, because I totally understand that the love this event has, also truly understand that those that feel repulsed by it as well. Musically, the collective do a great job of consistently executing their sound and creating a specific vibe that has people coming back. with the time that I start to ask myself if the specific vibe is a selection of the exclusively sexy, fashionable crowd that puts a heavy emphasis on dancing hard and heavy from start to finish, or whether the party's vibe is defined more from G consumption and the vibe that it brings with it. This is the whole point of putting on a night. I'm sorry. When I was promoting, when I was putting on raves, you put on the rave because you feel like there's something missing. It's like starting a business. It's like doing anything in the world. You feel like there's something missing and you feel like you can fill that void. So if you are in a scene and you feel like the scene isn't sexy, isn't hard dancing, isn't maybe drug fueled, isn't really edgy, guess what you do? You start a party that ticks all those fucking boxes because that's what you and your friends like. There's nothing wrong with it. But I honestly don't think there's somebody on the door that's standing there like looking at people and only selecting them based on their looks that go in there. Maybe people that are attracted to that sort of party look a certain way. Maybe the Dutch in general, they're usually tall, handsome looking people anyway. So maybe that kind of mixes things up. But come on. We've seen some of the Mongoloids that kind of, you know, go to some of these events, especially here in London. We've seen some of the uglies that attend fucking techno events on a fucking weekly basis. Let's not lie and say that, oh, there's some sort of pretty privilege going on here as the community. Let's fucking relax. It might be a cool thing going on, but let's not make it, oh, they're only picking people based on if you're hot or not. It's like, relax. Because hot in techno is very subjective, you know? There's like, I don't know. There's girls out here with fucking armpit hair and shit. Is that hot to you? I don't know. I'm just saying. Let's continue. I personally do not consume G, but it would be lying if I did say that the vibe that the drug brings to the party is only negative. Dancing is fun, and it's great feeling that the dynamic on the dance floor is constantly rocking from start until the end. You just typically don't get that vibe as much when partying with people that are mainly on other drugs. I tend to appreciate and focus on these aspects at most and shut my eyes off to the party that don't resonate with me. Exactly. That's what you should be doing. But I also don't think it's a problem to have a party that's sponsored primarily by GHB. Yes, it's troubling. Yes, it has its issues. Yes, it can be lethal. Yes, it can be dangerous, but we're all grown-ups. Let's not start demonizing one drug after the other because in truth, all drugs are bad. We should all not be doing any type of drug whatsoever, but let's not lie and say that the drugs that we do when we go out don't aid and help and abate the night that we're having. They don't add, you know, a bit of fucking luster. They don't add a bit of fucking stardust to what we're doing. No pun intended. They clearly do. That's why we do them. So let's not act as if like, you know, this thing is a new thing. This is standard. This is what we've been doing for the moment one. It's not that bad of a vibe. And personally for me, I don't like, you know, I don't think it's a bad thing going to a rave like this and seeing people dancing from the beginning to the end, mostly because they're on GHB. That's actually a good vibe. Seeing that nobody is standing, nobody just like, you know, hanging around, catching vibes, catching rays, recording shit. No, people are there and they're there to fucking sweat, they're to go fucking crazy and then bounce and go home. That's perfectly fine with me. Still, the downsides of being at a party surrounded by mainly G users cannot be denied. I must say that the Eerste Communie party, both in Amsterdam and Berlin, tend to start off sexy, even a little bit playful in the early hours, but always tend to transform into a darker, almost sinister vibe towards the middle until the end. No matter how much fun I've had or how good it was always left a dark taste in my mouth. Yo, pause on that one. That I feel I need somewhere to recover from. To be fair, I feel like this is the perfect way to kind of like program a party, to be honest. It's like, especially in a place like Amsterdam or Berlin where it's like no holds barred and you can kind of get up to whatever you want to get up to, and usually the fucking nights last until, you know, the wee hours of the morning. I think it's perfectly normal for it to start off playful and then end a little bit dark and sinister because, you know, the dark and sinister vibes is when maybe some of the more X-rated stuff happens. So I think it's perfectly okay. I don't think there's a problem with that personally. I don't know if it's G or the crowd collective or both. Still, musically it's always on point and barely know any other party except a good night at Berghain where the dance floor comes alive as much as EC. So exactly. So the dance floor is key. Everyone's saying the dance floor at Eerste Communie is the best bit about the rave. And that's the most important thing. The most important thing is people are saying undoubtedly they put on a fucking sick party. No one's doubting that, but people are just doubting the crowd that it attracts. Now I'm personally saying the crowd that they attract is a crowd that they attract. They've always been known for that. You like it or you don't, but complaining about it and wanting them to change isn't going to change anything. Last paragraph, hearing that people got mocked and bullied at the club on the dance floor makes me feel sick though. That ain't it. But again, this whole linke art, you say in German, I think it translates to devious or slight attitude in a mean way. It's something I notice a lot. People that go to take G, even amongst friends and people that are actually close. I don't personally think, unpopular opinion, I don't think drugs change your personality. I think drugs just emphasize or bring forward or bring to the surface a personality you always had. I don't think you can just be a nice person and then suddenly you do this and then suddenly you're a bitch. I think if you were a bitch before, you're going to be a bitch after the drugs. So I think this idea that GHB is turning everybody into bitches, no. Most people that are into techno, most people that are into that sort of scene, Berlin, Amsterdam, most people that are techno tourists, most people that, frame their whole lives around a BPM or around, harness boots or harnesses and double sole boots and PVC and wearing eyeliner and painting their nails and smoking to give them a personality. Most of these people are cunts. It just is what it is. You have to kind of, they're part of the scene. They're not going to go anywhere. Techno's become a cool thing now. There's not a lot of things that you can do in your adult age as a hobby that are fun. Going raving and hanging out and traveling the world and playing places and raving places is quite fun. Following DJs and around the world is also quite fun. So it's not going to stop anytime soon. You have to kind of get with it or move on to another thing personally. But let's see some of the comments regarding the latest Eerste Communie in Berlin, actually, because they wrote a thank you notice here on their Instagram saying, "Thank you, Berlin. That was hot. Those 21 hours flew by in no time." A special shout out goes to the team at Cruise Woods and Queer Mama and all the artists who kept us going. So who was playing there at this Eerste Communie? They had White Aura, someone called Flitz, someone called Dura, and Winfur, someone called Ignes. Philippa Pasha was playing Legend, Hitma, Nihad Tool, and someone called Hashin. Let's see some of the comments. Let's see if are there any complaints here. It was a pleasure to operate your lights. Okay, big up the lighting people, because lighting people are always important. They're like an unrespected or unrepresented heroes of nightlife. So big up the lighting guys. Happy for everyone who had fun there. Unfortunately, the bouncer did not like our answers to a stupid trivia game at the door. Really? There's trivia now to get in. Okay, that's where I draw a line though. I'm not having you ask me questions and grill me and make me fucking do a spit test or name fucking, do a fucking electronic beats. Can you name this fucking tune thing? Nah, fuck off. It's not that deep. It was pure bliss, unforgettable, best dance, best set of my life was forever was from Ignes. So big up Ignes, getting a lot of love. Ignes masterclass, Jesus Christ, Ignes. Wow, Ignes is getting all the love here. You are a phenom. God damn, killer Ignes. So Ignes is getting all the love. So I'm not seeing a lot of hate on here. So people that actually went and attended, I don't think they're seeing a lot of hate here. But it's obviously the people, as per usual when it comes to social media, it's everyone that didn't actually go, that wasn't there, is the ones that are crying. But so far, I've not seen no hate on the actual IG from people that actually attended so far. But I could be wrong. Let's see if anything else pops up on here. But I think so far from what I've seen, everything seems to be on the direction of good. Merci, having you with us, dream, flame emoji, and nothing else going on there. So big up Eerste Communie, big up Eerste Communie. And like I said previously, you know what they're about. You know what their vibe is. Don't cry, don't complain. You know what they're around. If you don't like it, go somewhere else. But they do have another party popping up soon. They have one here that they announced, courtesy of their IG here. They've got a party happening at Blitz Club, actually in Munich. It says here, we're excited to announce that we're bringing the bird to Munich, landing at Blitz at the very first time. Consistent with our tradition, the lineup will remain unannounced, adding to an element of surprise. You can expect one intimate dance floor and a judgment-free atmosphere where the primary focus is the music. Exactly. They even say in their blurb, the primary focus is the music and the dance floor. Niggas are going there and paying attention to how people are looking at them. Bro, just focus on the music. Go to the dance floor, wear a nice outfit, feel cute, feel sexy, blend in with the crowd, try and stand out if you want to, turn your back to the fucking booth, find a corner, find a place, middle of the booth, middle of the dance floor, front of the fucking booth, back of the room, wherever. Find a place and go fucking crazy. Then you can review it properly. But this whole idea about going is like, oh, why did not welcome me? No one's telling me hi. No one's calling me by my username on the Bergheim subreddit. No one knows who the fuck you are. Just enjoy, have a good time. Say hi to people. Chill, have a good one. Not that deep, bruh. Eerste Communie at Blitz, Friday, November the 1st. 2024, 11 p.m. until end. In keeping our regular events, the majority of the tickets will be sold at the door. However, we have a limited available now to purchase online. So big up Eerste Communie. Great to see. Blitz Club is fucking amazing, by the way. The inside of Blitz in Munich is fucking sick. Might be one of the most aesthetically pleasing nightclubs, you know, to the eye. The sound system, the layout, everything around it looks fucking incredible. So I'm assuming this will be a sick one. So big up Eerste Communie. Big up Eerste Communie. I cannot lie. I'm happy to hear it. I'm happy to hear it for them. So big up fucking them. Continuing on, we have some news here, courtesy of BBC, on the subject of events and music and vibes and shit. And big up Chris back in the stream chat as well. Great fucking timing. Fans react to the massive news of an Oasis reunion. Yes, you heard it right. Liam and Noel finally back together. They're finally friends again. They're finally brothers again. They're finally bandmates again. They're finally on good terms. And we're finally, I think maybe for the first time in 15 years, maybe? I think it might be 15 years. We are getting an Oasis tour with both main members of Oasis performing. And I cannot wait. Obviously, we know this isn't because, you know, they suddenly realize they love each other. This probably is because this is a big money maker, you'd imagine, especially considering the amount of time they've been away, how popular Oasis are. This is going to be probably one of the only times they could probably make this kind of money, because they're going to go on a proper tour. It's a long tour. They're going to be playing several dates in Wembley and shit. So they're going to be making the monies, the merch attached to it. I think there's a bunch of brands. I think I saw Represent, you know, a bit of a shitty brand really. It's kind of the UK Fear of God, but they're doing capsule collections. So there's going to be a bunch of brands making, you know, capsule collections and merch collaborations with them. They're probably going to have loads of other different types of activations. You know, hotels are going to be making a bunch of money. You know, airlines, whatever. Everyone's going to be raking in the dough when it comes to fucking Oasis. And more importantly, the baggie sellers. Anybody that sells baggies of any sort of illegal substance is going to make a ton of money. People that sell Adidas shoes, people that sell fucking Stone Island, anything else included, they're going to make a fucking killing, because everyone's going to be planning their outfits, planning their baggies, and what they're going to be taking with them and their trims when they go to the Oasis tour. So let's check out this article close to the BBC. It says fans react to the massive news Oasis reunion tour. It says on Tuesday, the rumors were confirmed. It's definite. In a press release, Liam and Noel Gallagher confirmed Oasis will reunite for a series of live shows next summer with gigs in London, Manchester, Cardiff, Edinburgh, and Dublin. And the funny thing is, I think tickets go on sale on Friday, and this is for a tour that's happening next year. And most likely this will sell out in minutes. And according to, I think, the official Oasis Twitter account, I think the rumors were that they were going to perform at fucking Glastonbury. But allegedly they said not performing no festivals. So they're not doing any festivals next year. The only way you can see them perform, allegedly, according to them, again, they could be lying. This could be some, like, you know, this could be a little bit of an okie doke. But according to them, the only times you can see them perform live will be during this live tour. It continues. Fans in Burnage, where Oasis are from, can't wait. They said they're going to be a big part of my life growing up, said one woman who has an Oasis tattoo on her back. I'm so excited. We grew up around the corner from Noel and Liam, said another one. You can't put a price on a band such as Oasis, can you? Burnage people will pay to see them, and so will everyone else. The news also sparked a massive reaction online and flood of memes and jokes. Oasis reunion this year is an era store for people who can't stand up without their knees sounding like elephant walking on bubble wrap is funny. Blur should launch a comeback gigs in the exact same dates as Oasis and really give the authentic 90s vibe, another one wrote. So here's the dates. You got the 4th of July in Cardiff. You got the 11th, 12th, 19th, and 20th of July in Manchester. You got the 25th, 26th of July, and the 2nd and 3rd of August in London, Wembley. And then you've got the 8th and the 9th of August in Edinburgh. And then you've got 16 and 17 in Dublin. Most likely, you'd imagine there's probably going to be room for extra dates, because I'm sure DJs are going to sell out in a fucking flash. They're not going to hang around. So most likely, if the demand is really crazy, or as crazy as I think it will be, or as it should be, most likely they're going to add more dates. I think either side, I think you're going to see way more dates be added on. But regardless, man, these tickets are going to go by so fucking quickly. I'm definitely going to make an effort to go to one of the London dates. I say all the time about fucking events, but I actually will go to this, because I don't think you're going to have many chances of seeing Oasis perform. And really and truly, like, you know, based on some of the performances I've seen of Oasis online, anyway, video, you get your money's worth. It's a good sing-along occasion. They're one of the best live bands in the world. It's quintessential live performance. There's not a lot of like bells and whistles. There's not a lot of crazy pyrotechnics or visuals. It's just a band on stage singing their fucking heart out, performing their heart out, and some fucking legendary songs. A lot of B-sides you probably hadn't heard of. They go through an incredible amount of tunes during their sets, and yeah, it's gonna be a fucking good one. I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be fucking vibes. I'm really fucking looking forward to it. Plenty of celebrities have also been sharing their thoughts this morning with the band's reunion. On Instagram, English songwriter Tom Greenan described it as massive. On X, a football pundit and former footballer Stan Collymore said Oasis were part of what he reinvented British cool. Even ahead of the announcement, famous faces were weighing in on the rumours. Irish duo Jedward, big up Jedward, celebrated the possibility of the union by reposting a video of John covering Wonderwall with the actress Tara Reid in 2022. Of course, Jedward, as a way to fucking celebrate Oasis maybe potentially reuniting, posted a picture or video of themselves singing Wonderwall. Of course. Of course. How to make it about yourself. Big up fucking Jedward. Absolute legends. Edith Bowman, a radio DJ and television presenter, said people would be hitting refresh on a browser as they tried to get tickets. I think a lot of people of that age, when they start coming out, and I was one of them, they were the Beatles. They were a band that appealed to immediately, and they connected with them. And the funny thing, listening to the music in this morning, there's something incredibly timeless about them. Yeah, because they're legendary, isn't it? One of the greatest bands ever. My brother passed down this to his son. We cannot wait to hopefully see them live. My 11-year-old is desperate to learn to play them on guitar. Great to hear. Oasis' ability to win fans reach across generations is evident from TikTok. Liv23 calls herself the Oasis girl on social media platforms. A huge fan, she has sung covers of the band songs online, including tracks such as Morning Glory, Cigarettes and Alcohol. She told BBC News the reunion was a huge shock as she never thought it would hear them live. Bruh, how can you call yourself Oasis girl and you had no idea that there was potential they were going to reunite? This has been one of the worst kept secrets in music for a long time, that they were going to reunite. I think they were saying it last year, but this happened this year. But like, how could you not know this is going to happen? I'm so shocked. Don't get me wrong. It's nice it's been confirmed, but it's not like a shock. Come on, Oasis girl. Come on, lady. Noel Gallagher is one of the greatest lyricists of all time. Slide Away is a great love song. She added that the band's music means a world to her. I'm going to try my hard to get tickets for both Manchester and London shows, but it'll be a struggle. Music journalist Kate Macbeth, also 23, said the band have an enduring appeal and the gigs next summer will feature a mix of older and younger fans. Yeah, for sure. Mostly older though. Let's be also fair. Mostly older because, you know, Oasis older fans are ride or die. Like similar to like, you know, Taylor Swift fans. She has a lot of fucking weird 40-plus-year-old mums that follow her as well. I think a lot of Oasis fans are about the same age as Noah and Liam, and they're going to be there in their droves. But I do love seeing some of the footage of like Oasis shows, because you see a lot of like older dudes who followed Oasis from when they first came around, taking some of their family members there, like sons, nephews. Like, it's so sick, nieces and shit. It's great to see like them passing down the love of Oasis to their to younger generations as well. They're like a generational band that people know, said BBC One Nation's One Beat. Even if I don't know anything deeper, everyone knows Wonderwall and Don't Look Back in Anger. Katie23 recalls growing up and hearing Oasis as a child, but says that these days through TikTok and streaming, they've managed to still have a draw. It's something that everyone could delve into, she says. The announcement was published on the brothers' social media accounts as well as the official Oasis page. The show will mark the group's first live dates in 16 years. 16 years. Said the tickets will go on sale on Saturday, the 31st of August. In a statement, Oasis commented, the guns have fallen silent. The stars have aligned. Great wait is over. Come and see. It will not be televised. The band said that the dates would be their only dates in Europe next year. However, Oasis Live 25 has been described as a world tour, suggesting more dates will be announced soon. Rumored Glastonbury appearance is not confirmed by the band. Also, Oasis confirmed the release of the 30th anniversary edition of the album. Definitely, maybe. And big up Andrew Burnham. The news was all been waiting for. Massive day for Manchester. So yeah, can't wait for them. Honestly, gonna try to get tickets. Really is amazing news. Oasis comeback confirmed. Oasis comeback confirmed. Big up fucking Oasis. And big up the stream chat. Big up Wagwan. What are you saying here in the stream chat? Is you gonna get tickets for Oasis reunion shows? Yes, of course, Chris Mack. I'm there. Big up Max Cooper. Did you see Patrick Mason play at Unfold? No, I didn't. What was he there? Sick. That's pretty good. I didn't know about that. No, I didn't go Unfold this week. I didn't go this Unfold this past weekend. I was meant to go to the Boiler Room London Festival and shit, but you know me and fucking plans. I say I'm gonna go places, but never end up turning up. So I didn't end up going, unfortunately. But I did see that Patrick Mason was playing at the Boiler Room Festival, so that's quite sick. That's quite sick that he played at fucking Unfold. I wonder how it was. Let's actually go to his Instagram. What did he say? Because I haven't been on this. I don't know Wild One, but let's see what did Patrick Mason say about it. Did he say anything about it on his Instagram? But yeah, I didn't go, but I'm assuming it was probably good. I assume it was probably quite good. There needs to be a place where you can like post stuff about, stuff like that online. It doesn't exist. Unfold. Is there like an Unfold Reddit? I don't think there is, isn't it? To see here like reviews of how people got along. Like, how was it? Was this who played? Who did well? But yeah, I don't know. Or maybe let me actually check the Fold Instagram. Maybe Fold have them up there. Let's hear what Fold said, because I'm a fan of Patrick Mason. He seems like a bit of a nightmare. He seems a bit exhausting, but DJ wise, I'm happy he exists. It's good to see that kind of personality exist on the fucking scene. So let's go to their actual page. Let's see Fold what they're saying. Oh yeah, so they got a place on here. So Fold, bank holiday to remember, 24 hours of treasure against the backdrop of late summer sun. Our main room, 24 hours of pounding techno alongside the corridor. Sibling took a very different direction. The steam room showcasing everything from sassy breakneck beats to euphoric hard house and beyond. Thank you for everyone who joined us in the last 24 hours edition. The latest one, sorry. The main room featured, look at the people that played. Voice Drone. Julian Huxtable was there. Sick. I missed out on her too. Ellie Akula played. Aurora Halal, Tedesco, Bally Ibs. We got Bally Ibs. Okay, cool. A lot of good people played in the lineup. That's a fucking sick lineup, bro. I'm not gonna lie, that's a fucking great fucking lineup. Wow, not a bad lineup at all. And it went from 12 to 12. That's a fucking good one there. That's a fucking good one. But yeah, I wasn't there, unfortunately. I couldn't be bothered to leave my house, I'm not gonna lie. And there's always another Unfold that happens. The next season of Unfold will be unveiled very, very soon. So everyone's saying, yeah, look at all the good reviews here. During the Huxtable, you transcended my soul and mind. The soundscape were moonshot, I guess. Patrick Mason says, now that's what I call a proper party. My Janet Jackson Rhythm Nation fantasy came to life in the morning hours. Thank you so much for having me. And of course, the beautiful freaks who gave me all their love. Thank you for having us. It felt like a proper lift off. Big up Junior Huxtable. Didn't know I needed to go. Thank you all. Okay, loads of good vibes. Good to hear. Thanks for having me. Thank you for everything. Junior Huxtable tore it down. Last few hours, my soul needed reviving. From lost property. that's hilarious. Honestly, had an amazing time. Everyone's saying another one for the books. What an amazing Unfold. Thank you. Wow. Okay, this got a lot of great reviews. Okay, cool. I still haven't been to an Unfold. I'm one of those fucking freaks that have never gone, mostly because I have a job, so I find it a bit hard to kind of justify going raving on a Sunday. It feels like something you shouldn't be doing. It feels kind of naughty. But maybe in the future that'll be a thing to kind of go to. But yeah, big up the Unfold people. Big up the people that went, had a good time. Great to hear. Great to hear. Great to hear. Big up Jack. Jack says I went was kind of what you would expect from him. Okay, cool. Big up Jack. Big up Jack, dead in the hype. It wasn't that great. Big up Jack out here, dead in the fucking hype. Big up Jack out here, dead in the fucking hype. Continuing on for the club stuff. I actually wanted to mention this quickly because I want to make sure everybody's aware of this, because I want to give this place all the love possible, because it looks like it might be one of the next goated venues to go and check out. So DVS1 is performing at this nightclub called Open Ground in Wuppertal in Germany. It's built up to be one of the best clubs up and coming nowadays. Everyone's saying the sound system might be as good, if not better, than Berghain. It's got a lot of love and attention put behind it. A lot of good people behind it also. The scene around it seems to be bubbling and burgeoning as well. And it seems to be a new, fresh place to go to that isn't Berlin. I'm not sure about you guys out there who are fans of techno tourism like I am, but I'm getting tired of going to places like Fold and Berghain all the fucking time. I'm bored of it. I go there all the fucking time. So if there's an excuse to go to somewhere fresh and new, I will go. There's that place in Manchester I actually need to go check out that everyone kind of speaks very highly of. I think that the place that what's their name again? I think that Blashat Play Out or something. I forgot the name of it. But there's a few venues outside of London and outside the regular ones that I want to go check out. And if there's a good one to go and see that is outside of the usual key cities when it comes to nightlife and shit. I'm gonna go and check them out. So I want to give Open Ground a check. And I have seen they've got a Freddie K event happening very soon. They've got an event happening with DBS1 happening as well soon. So most likely in the next few months, apart from, you know, instead of going to my usual Berlin thing every month, I might actually opt to go to Open Ground and see what go on. So Open Ground are having DBS1 playing, and I think they've got Freddie1. I think Freddie K is playing the week before, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not really too sure. Let me actually check it out in here. But I think Freddie K plays very, very, very soon as well. So you've got him playing. So you've got, what's his face? DBS1 playing in November. Let's scroll down here. Oh, look, you've also got big up my guy, Daniel Wang. Daniel Wang is playing on the 14th of September as well. A CSDA Wuppertal and Annex. Daniel Wang's playing there alongside Ellie Andrews, Gas Ball, and someone called John K. You got Blauan playing also soon, the 21st of September. Let's scroll down. Fadi Moham's playing there. F Dimin playing there, who I'm a big fan of. DJ Pete, one of the best DJs ever, personally for me. Also playing very, very soon on the 5th or the 10th. Who else is playing here? You got Elijah and Jams playing there. Big up UK Stand Up. You got Josie Rebel again. Big up UK Stand Up as well. She's playing there soon. You got Tasha, another UK representative. Big up Ben Sims. DVS1 playing on the 8th of the November. And I think the Freddie K event is at the end of November. So Freddie K and Tasha, 29th of November. And then you've got DVS1 playing on the 8th of November. So I'm really curious. I'm really eager to go and check it out. Well, talking about being eager to check it out, what do you look at this? Electronic Beats, one of my favorite actually dance music websites and news platforms. I'm not too sure what happened to it lately. They've not really been the best, but in the past when I was kind of reading articles and trying to get myself as much, you know, educated and knowledgeable of the scene as possible, Electronic Beats was a really good place to go and check out articles, especially when it comes to, you know, Berlin specific sort of things and events. I think I might have discovered what Cocktail d'Amour was, the party collective and shit, based on an article I think that Daniel Wang wrote for Telekom Electronic Beats back in the day. They've also got a really good YouTube that you should check out as well. Really cool YouTube series and interviews and shit that they do. What's in My Bag, I think they do as well. They do a thing about, you know, trying to spot what tunes are and name them before the beat sounds out. So definitely go check them out. They've got an actual video here on the inside of Open Ground. I'm gonna go check out. I think some of it's been subtitled, so unfortunately if you're not listening to this you won't actually hear. I don't want to just transcribe the whole thing, but it has been subtitled so you can actually kind of read and kind of, you know, see what they're talking about here, because I think most of it will be in German. But I'm curious to hear some of the background behind Open Ground and why it exists and how it exists. So big up Telekom Electronic Beats. I'll put the link in the description to check out as well. It says inside Open Ground, a very interesting new club with an incredible sound system. So let's play this. Let's get this full screen and let's hear what the Open Ground people have to say about their club and why they're around.
Die Stadt heißt Wuppertal, aber wir sind in der Mitte von Europa. Aus Köln, aus Düsseldorf, aus dem Ruhrgebiet ist man innerhalb von 30 bis 40 Minuten hier. Amsterdam, Brüssel sind 2,5 Stunden. Berlin ist 4 Stunden Zugfahrt. Die Idee, einen Club zu betreiben, hatte ich schon lange, immer so ein bisschen. Es kam eigentlich so, dass die Stadt selber
quality is a tiny bit because it's buffering on me like an absolute savage. Let's go again one more time. Yo, big up Wingus McDingus in the chat, appreciate you. Big up Max Cooper, what's going on here? Open Ground sound system and lighting is the best I've ever seen. Cool toilets too. I'll be honest though, the energy is not comparable to Berlin. Yeah, of course not. It wouldn't be comparable. It's just not the same city, innit? From what I've heard from people, big up Joyce, it's a bit more of a quieter place. It's not as like, you know, there's not a lot of young people there also. So a lot of people are having to kind of go there specifically for the club. Maybe over time, people will maybe start living there and changing the makeup and the vibe of it. But it definitely isn't Berlin from what I'm able to learn. Wuppertal, I think the what you call it, apart from Open Ground now, was probably creating its own history for the city. I think the best thing about that place is that that weird fucking train thing that kind of hangs. You know that train, that's maybe the main thing people know about Wuppertal. So yeah, I'm not surprised the energy isn't the same, but over time, who knows, maybe it might pick up. And I think, don't be surprised if you go to the Freddie K event, because people follow Freddie K like crazy. They fucking love him. I'm a little bit iffy, and I'm not really too sure about the hype. I think he's a bit overhyped personally for me. But Freddie K does bring a crowd, so don't be surprised if the Freddie K event at Open Ground is a fucking barnstorm and everyone goes crazy for it. So big up them. Big up Abe Martinez, I see you there. Wagwan, Abe Martinez. Big up Jack, I see you there. Big up 7 Dirty, I see you. Mr. O, I see you. Wagwan, Wagwan.
Die Stadt heißt Wuppertal, aber wir sind in der Mitte von Europa. Aus Köln, aus Düsseldorf, aus dem Ruhrgebiet ist man innerhalb von 30 bis 40 Minuten hier. Amsterdam, Brüssel sind 2,5 Stunden. Berlin ist 4 Stunden Zugfahrt. Die Idee.
That's pretty cool, isn't it, right? Berlin's a 4-hour train ride. That's one of the great things about being in a landlocked place like Europe in general. Like, techno-tourism in Europe, like if you live in, that's why I think in the end, in the future, I will definitely do a thing where I get a property here in the UK and here in Europe. Definitely somewhere here in the Europe. Well, in the UK, I'll definitely have to get one. I've spent way too much time here. I have to fucking put my flag in the ground. Most likely, it'll have to be outside of London because, you know, London house prices are fucking crazy. So probably have to be somewhere like Manchester or something. But I definitely would like to get a property in Europe, even if I can't stay there all year round based on visas. It's really great because I missed out and I didn't have the ability because I never did the whole Erasmus thing or, you know, traveling around Europe when I was in uni or whatever. But from what I've heard, like traveling around Europe on train is incredible. It's an incredible experience. There's so many great sleeper trains. They're very fairly priced, very cheap in some places. And you get to visit some really cool, interesting, far-flung places on train that you probably would never get to see if you weren't traveling around on a train anyway. And it opens up Europe in a completely different way. So I really, really want to go. So that's part of the plan. Eventually get a place here in the UK and get a place in Europe so I can kind of balance both of them. But definitely to do the whole like techno tourism thing around Europe would be fucking sick, and visit places I probably would never check out, like places like Poland and shit, just to kind of see what I'll go on.
Idee, einen Club zu betreiben, hatte ich schon lange, immer so ein bisschen. Es kam eigentlich so, dass die Stadt selber einen alten Tiefbunker reaktivieren wollte, um dort ein Projekt zu starten. Und an Nummer 1 Platz stand es, einen Club zu machen. Und das ist zu mir und meinem Bruder rübergekommen und dann ging die Idee los. Als erstes habe ich meinen Freund Mark Ernestus in Berlin gefragt, für den ich lange...
Okay, so it's a brother duo. It's 2 brothers that are behind it from what he's explaining. And they've always wanted to have their own club. And then an opportunity came up to take over this bunker. And then, hey, here we are. There's the club.
Gearbeitet habe. Der erste Gedanke war in Wuppertal schwierig, aber der zweite Gedanke war, wir sind in Nordrhein-Westfalen, wir haben einen riesen Ballungsraum und vielleicht eine ganz gute Idee. Und dann daraus entwickelt hat sich dann der Gedanke, man muss alles dafür tun, einen guten Sound im Raum zu erzeugen, weil das ist das, was uns auch früher immer in anderen Clubs gestört hat, dass der Sound nicht gut war. Also der Anspruch, einen guten Sound zu machen, war ganz am Anfang und war das wesentliche Merkmal. Und direkt damit verbunden auch die Tatsache, dass wir hier keinen normalen Techno-Club machen wollten, sondern einen Club, der sehr breit im Musikalischen aufgestellt ist.
You know what's really incredible about Germany and other places that aren't the UK? Imagine having the luxury where your only focus when you're making a club is making sure the sound is impeccable. In the UK, we have so many hurdles you have to jump over, from like local councils, police, neighbors, gentrification in general, rising rents, all these sort of things, noise pollution laws, so many hurdles, so many things you have to address before you even get down to the issue of like, how does my club sound? But in Europe, you can focus on the sound of your club and then sort of like build up from there. Here you have to worry about some other shit. That's why most clubs in London in general have shitty sound, because who cares about the sound if you can't even put the volume up to a certain level, or if you're only allowed to put it up to a certain level? Why bother having the best sound system if you're sort of like limited by how high it can go? Whereas in Europe, you can literally have the sound cranked to the point where you can hear it from down the road. But in London, you try and do that. You might do that on opening night, but after that, you'll be completely stopped and banned, and quite quickly your license will be taken away from you if you keep breaking the rules. So I think I realized over time, from my time of going and visiting different places in Europe, because I would always come back from my trips like super pissed off on London. Oh my god, I wish it was like this, wish it was like that. It's like, bro, London is never gonna be like these other places because London is in the UK, and the UK just has different laws, different rules, different vibes, different attitudes towards partying and shit. We're just anti-fun. We are never gonna be like these places. We have to make do what we have, and that's it. And then if we want to have this type of fun, we go to these places, but we can never replicate this here. Never, ever, ever.
Das ist natürlich eine riesenkomplexe Baustelle gewesen, die in Summe 7 Jahre gedauert hat. Das ganz Wesentliche, was wir gemacht haben, ist, wir haben diesen Bunker von der Decke her freigelegt, haben dabei auch noch einen zweiten Raum entdeckt. Das war sehr spannend. Da war plötzlich eine Klappe und ein Loch darunter.
That's pretty cool. It says during the process of digging up the hole or digging around and kind of, you know, doing what needs to be done to build the club, they found another room that turned into another room for the club itself. But it took 7 years to build this club. Shit.
Und unter dem Loch war ein 300 Quadratmeter großer Raum, den wir dann mitnutzen konnten. Und dann ging die Arbeit los, den Bunker eigentlich aufzuschneiden an den Seiten, um den Durchbruch zu machen. Und eben tatsächlich auch in der Decke, im Deckenbereich, haben wir am Ende 100 Klötze rausgesägt. Das war richtig Steinbruch. Über ein halbes Jahr lang haben wir hier grobe Rohbauarbeiten gemacht.
I don't even think they'd let you do this level of construction work in the UK to open a new club. I swear to God. You might have to just like repurpose what's already there. But I really don't think they'd let you like drill and take out literal blocks of cement from the ground to open up this bunk. Like, I don't think so. They'd want you to just occupy the space for the time being, make do what you have, and then in a year's time, some fucking property development company will come through, buy up the space, and turn it into fucking steel and glass co-working spaces with a shitty coffee shop on the ground floor. They wouldn't even let you do all this stuff. Like, honestly, truly remarkable. The amount of, you know, room they give them to actually work and build this club from literally the ground up or from underground and up. It's really cool architectural work, though. There is something that really magical as well about walking downstairs. I think you have it a lot with Fold. You have it with Berghain. Fold has the walking up the stairs thing. Berghain kind of has it too when you go in. But there's something about walking upstairs or walking downstairs that kind of transforms you, innit? I think of even some place like the Alibi in Dawson, my kind of favorite club back in the day, or kind of dive bar that I used to kind of go to all the time. Big up Dino Joe. And that space was magical too, because you'd go through the little door and you'd go down the stairs, right? You'd pass all the mirrored walls and it kind of transport you into this other world. Even Visions had the same sort of thing. You go down this little, pathway. So maybe as much as it's important to have great sound system and to obviously make sure the space where you dance and shit is great booth, drinks menu, blah, blah, blah. It probably is just as important, the entrance of a club, how you walk into it, how you walk out of it. You know, how you walk into it, most importantly, and the way it kind of transports you into that space, that's just as important as the sound system, as the space itself.
Der Club ist am Ende genau das geworden, was wir uns vorgestellt haben.
Okay, this is really cool because there's no pictures usually on the inside because they don't let you take pictures. So this is very interesting going forward now because it seems like they are going to give us a full tour of what it looks like on the inside. So those of us who haven't been there will get a chance to see what it looks like on the inside.
Wir haben es sogar geschafft, neben einer großen Lobby und einem direkt anhängenden Raucherbereich, also einem Innenhof, einen kleinen und einen großen Clubraum zu haben. Der kleine Clubraum ca. 100, der große ca. 400.
Oh, that's a perfect space, isn't it? The smaller room has 100 people and the bigger room has 400. That's the perfect amount. This kind of, that 100 room space sort of sounds like Plastic Peoples, big up Plastic Peoples back in the day, if you know, you know, on Curtin Road. That's such a great space or such a great capacity for like a second room. That's really cool. I love that.
Tanzende, also eine Größe, die genau das ist, was in unserer Vorstellung so ideal ist. Und auch die Lobby als Bereich, wo man sich unterhalten kann, wo man nicht auch noch von dem lauten Sound, der dann in den Nebenräumen nur noch als Brei wahrgenommen wird, gestört wird, sondern der Brei ist halt vorher von der Akustikdämmung eliminiert worden und man kann in der Lobby mit einem
By the way, big up, they're talking about the insulation and, you know, the acoustics being great. But one thing you have to give these guys credit for, and I think it's definitely something that you see a lot in the European clubs as opposed to the UK. I feel like the UK clubs, they don't really like you chilling. They like you to kind of go in, stay on your feet, get a drink, go to the toilet, do your drugs, shit, piss, finger bang a waitress, and then go home. But I think in the European clubs, like, it's actually an experience, like an all day or all weekend thing. So they always have really great chill out areas. And look at this. There's a pitch, there's a section of the video where they've got these amazing big, really wide wooden benches on the side of the wall. And then in front of them, they've got these massive concrete blocks that have little kind of like, I guess, little cushions, little square cushions on the top of them. So you can either sit on the side of the bench or you can sit on these blocks and you can have different people. You know, it's basically, in a way, it's modular because you can kind of, you know, gather around in little circles. You can face the people on the benches, face, you know, have their back to them and be in your little crew together. It makes it opens all people to kind of bump into and say hi as a crew. So I love those areas because when you're, you know, when you're raving all weekend and you're consuming certain things, it's nice to go somewhere where you can kind of just like deregulate and kind of chill a little bit and kind of gather your breath. And they have a good vibe of doing that. In the UK, we don't, because I guess most clubs don't even stay long enough open for you to chill. They only have areas like this, so they don't really have chill out areas at a lot of nightclubs in the UK. I think even Fold might have got rid of theirs. I think the only chill out area in Fold is the smoking area outside. They don't really have one on the inside. No, they do. Sure, they do. They have a chiller area on the way to the outside. It's like a little cubby bit, but it's not a usual thing in UK clubs. Most UK clubs, you go in, you stand around, you get your drinks, and you keep it moving.
Neu eingespielten, leiseren Sound sich sehr gut unterhalten. Das ist eine Qualität, die war uns auch von Anfang an wichtig.
Yo, big up Jack in the chat as well. What are you guys saying here? Oh no, big up Max Cooper as well earlier. What did he say? He said it was full of, oh, this is about Patrick Mason playing at Stone Techno, I guess. No, sorry, playing at the Unfold. Max Cooper, it was full of people from Stone Festival for the first half. Everyone was starstruck by the sound and room. Opera Gas System is lightning is best I've ever seen. Cool toilets too. I'll be honest. Big up Jack. Weekend trip there next year. Somewhere new. We'll try and check it out if costs are reasonable. Too young to have experienced visions, but heard a lot about it. Think they've missed the golden years of London. Now the golden years of London are now. Don't ever think you've missed it. The golden years of London are whenever you're around. Whenever you're around experiencing things, those are the golden years of London. Like, go and experience things fully. Go to every rave, go to every venue, as many as you can. Check out what's actually out there, as many different nights, different types of genres or whatever. Experience it all, because you're never gonna repeat this moment again. You can't pine for the past. But the good thing nowadays, I feel like, because especially with flights nowadays, I feel like flight prices have kind of leveled out. I feel like post-pandemic they were crazy high, but flight prices have kind of leveled out now. So you can obviously check out stuff locally here in the UK, London and shit. But if need be, and you want something new and freshen things up, you could always go to places like Amsterdam, Berlin, other parts of Germany like Munich and shit have good clubs as well, like Blitz to go and check out as well. Other countries like France, Italy have great fucking scenes, different festivals and shit. Places like Portugal are popping off. So you can always experience different places. So you can never say you're bored or get kind of tired of the scene. You just got to like open your eyes to different things. But there is, the golden age is always when you're at where you're at right now is always the golden age, I would say. But again, what do I know?
Wir haben hier in Open Ground eine Türpolitik, was ganz typisch bei uns an der Tür ist oder womit ich auch öfters mal anfange, ist erstmal zu fragen, wieso die überhaupt heute Abend da sind, aus welchem Grund. Und öfters mal hören wir auch, dass die genau wegen einem speziellen DJ da sind. Und da merkt man, dass die Leute sich einfach mit der Musik auseinandergesetzt haben.
What a lovely lady. Usually in Berlin clubs, the person that's telling you or doing the door picking is very like aggressive looking, very hard, right? very scary, let's say. This lady looks very lovely. She's basically saying, yeah, you know, we have a door policy. We just ask you what you're here for, who you're here to see, standard questions, but it doesn't feel like they're going to give you a grilling. It doesn't feel like you're going to get like a techno trivia test before you go in. Just some general questions to gauge, you know, that you know Wagwan, what to expect, who's inside there. I think that's fairly reasonable.
Und es ist uns auch als Club, glaube ich, sehr wichtig, dass es auch um die Künstler geht, um ihre Musik, weil wir auch so unterschiedliche Musikgenres bedienen.
Ich kümmere mich hier ums Booking. Also wir sind nicht primär dies oder jenes Genre. Wir sehen das alles, weil wir auch einen Plattenladen-Hintergrund haben, mehr universell. Also es konzentriert sich natürlich auf elektronische Tanzmusik. In dem Fall, wir mögen Techno, wir mögen Drum Bass.
The only thing I'd say is a little nitpick about Open Ground. I think the visual identity, the branding needs to be changed. I like the kind of like zine, cut and paste look of the flyers, but I feel like if you do the flyer text in black and white, then just keep the DJ's faces in black and white too. You know what I mean? Just because I guess you can do it on Photoshop with a filter, or you can just basically, you know, do it the analog way and just scan it in black and white, and then then scan it in black and white and then scan it into computer and then upload it onto Photoshop, blah blah. You can do it away, but I just don't like I feel like the flyers black and white and the pictures of DJs in color, and they're all like different types of color because they come from their Instagrams or different shoots. It looks a bit weird. That's the only nitpicky thing I'd say.
UK-Bass, House, Disco, Reggae, alles was daran anknüpft eigentlich. Ja. Aufgrund der Tatsache, dass wir 2 Räume haben, ergibt das natürlich eine andere Dynamik auch fürs Booking, wie man was aussucht für welchen Abend, und das gibt uns eine gnädige Situation, dass wir auch ein Kontrastprogramm machen können. Und das ist auf jeden Fall ein Club zum Tanzen, aber es ist auch ein Ort für Konzerte. Also es geht darum, dass Leute zusammen in einem Raum die Erfahrung teilen, diese Musik gemeinsam zu erleben. Diesen Moment, den vergisst man dann einfach nicht. Und das ist halt wie so ein Einstieg in was anderes. Und diese Erfahrung dann zusammen zu teilen und Teil davon zu werden für Leute, die daran interessiert sind, das ist halt der Ort dafür hier, für Musikliebhaberinnen.
Unser großer Clubraum heißt Freifeld. Das Wort kommt aus dem akustischen Konzept. Also der Akustiker, der uns das konstruiert und ausgedacht hat, spricht immer von Freifeldsimulation. Das heißt, er löst den Raum akustisch auf. Das heißt, der Raum ist so stark gedämmt an den Wänden und an der Decke, dass alle Frequenzen wieder absorbiert werden.
This whole entire club is fucking premise is about sound, isn't it? Even the rooms are named after, you know, sayings or terms within acoustics and shit. This whole club is about sound, so it's no surprise that everyone is wanking and going crazy over the sound system, because the whole premise of the club is based solely on the sound system. Get the sound system correct and everything else will kind of sort itself out. But that's incredible to see this level of care and attention being put into it. So they must have spent a real lot of money putting this sound system together. It probably wasn't cheap, bro.
Und man eigentlich nur noch den Direktschall hört. Und das ist genau das wesentliche Merkmal, was wir hier versucht haben zu schaffen. Ganz wesentlich dabei ist zu wissen, dass tiefe Frequenzen, also Bassfrequenzen, je tiefer sie sind, desto schwerer sind sie wieder aus dem Raum zu absorbieren. Und deshalb haben wir...
I'm not gonna lie. I love a good club platform. I think Fold do a good job of it too. That's something that I will definitely implement in the future when I eventually end up opening my own club. I'm a big fan of a platform. I don't know what a platform does for me, but it just gives me that little bit of I don't know. It's just, it adds to the fucking vibe of it, especially when everyone on the platform is going fucking crazy and really fucking dancing their faces off. I think Berghain have like 3 big blocks in the main room at the back that you can kind of stand on and dance. Fold have that really tight, it's kind of small anyway. It's on the side of the wall where the blinds are. the little platform there with 2 little levels that you can kind of dance on. There's something about a platform, just getting on there, that kind of brings something out of me, animalistic, that I fucking love on the dance floor. So this little bit at the back here in the club where they've got this raised platform with a bar that you can kind of stand on and watch the DJ play or perform, or just go crazy from the back. That's my jam. That's my jam. You'll definitely be spotting me somewhere around there.
Sehr dicke Schalldämmung, also 40 Zentimeter in den Clubräumen, und haben oben auf der Dämmung noch eine verdichtete Polyesterfaserplatte, und die allein durch ihre Beweglichkeit die Energie aus dem Bass nimmt. Das System funktioniert super, und wir haben einen sehr klaren, aber natürlichen und trockenen Sound in den Räumen. Und dann kommt die Funktion-One ins Spiel, die einen sehr guten Sound produziert und der dann wirklich sehr gut ist, wenn der Raum auch sehr gut ist. Das heißt, beides spielt zusammen.
Tweaking shit like the sound in a nightclub must be so fun, innit? Like spending all day just obsessing about the acoustics of a club must be so fucking fun. Figuring out what the right decibel is, what this is, what, like, it just must be so fun. Just finally, just every day, just fine-tuning it. It must be so fucking fun. Music by Caliber, for those of you who are wondering what the tune IDs were. So big up Open Ground. Really cannot wait to go check out the club myself. I really want to see it with my own eyes and ears. I'm a big stickler about that, by the way. I think in general, there's a lot of people online, especially when it comes to techno scene, who love to kind of yap and talk and opine about certain things without actually going to see it for themselves. So before you write off a place, or before you say something's overrated or overhyped, blah, 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 go and see it for your own. Form your own opinion, figure out if it's for you or not. And then, of course, if you want to opine and say shit, you can say it's shit, but it comes from like a, you know, an informed place. So I'm definitely going to go check it out and see what I want. There's actually an article here courtesy of Funktion-One that kind of delves a bit deeper actually into the sound system of Open Ground that I quickly want to go check over as well. This is courtesy of the Funktion-One website. Open Ground puts Wuppertal on the map in an incredible club experience. You've got some pictures here of the queue. Again, like I said before, the transportation of a nightclub probably is just as much as important as actually the dance floor itself. So the idea of like queuing up in this fucking this snake queue, heading into this bunker with the stairs were illuminated and lit up, looking over the fucking Wuppertal skyline as you're about to fucking descend into techno darkness must be so fucking fun. So I love that. The article opens up and says, in the heart of Wuppertal, Germany, a sonic revolution is taking place within the concrete walls of an underground bunker. In its first 7 months, Open Ground has found its way onto the wish list of DJs and clubbers alike, as its reputation has spread around Europe as the electronic music community beyond, veiled in a very deliberate cloak of secrecy that includes no strict no policy, resulting in a content void that has been filled with real experiences, harking back to the early days of the scene when news about exciting record venue and party spread organically through word of mouth, the subject of everyone's lips to the ground. But that's the thing that I find interesting. I think nowadays, if you open a nightclub, yes, the no photos policy is fundamental. That's the first thing. I think if you open a nightclub, when I eventually open mine, that'll be the first thing. No photos, cool. But you kind of have to have pictures that you take anyway, just to show people what's Wild, to give them a reason to want to go, to kind of make sure that it kind of stands out from whatever's out there, and you know, and to kind of show off what you've actually got going on, blah 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 blah, or to give them an idea on what the vibe is. You kind of have to take some pictures. I don't think you can get away with having none at all, but obviously having people in there taking crazy shitty flash pictures, uploading countless videos on the Instagram profiles is a dead thing, but you have to kind of balance it. So I feel like I've seen a bit of it. I think I've seen some videos from Open Ground's Instagram account clearly showing what it looks like on the inside, but I haven't seen so far anybody, you know, skirting the rules and trying to show us on the inside. So you kind of have to form your own opinion in your head, and of course gather some of the reviews from people online as well. It continues. When DJ Maria appeared on Martha's radio show a few weeks later after her first visit to the club, it was clear that she had been moved by the experience. She said, "It's truly special. Standing in the middle of the dance floor, enveloped by the sound, it's emotional. It can almost bring you to tears. The space and the sound creates a perfect environment to hear music as it should be. It's deep, weighty, and incredibly clean." Wow. Okay. DJ Mantra is saying that it's an emotional experience. It brought her close to tears. God almighty, I gotta check this place out. Open Ground was created and operated by a local and international team. At its heart is Marcus Rydell, working in collaboration with Mark Ernestus, whose relationship traces back to Berlin's legendary record store Hard Wax, founded by Ernestus in 1989. Rydell's brother Thomas made an Open Ground project possible with support financial investment. Oh shit. So it's the guys behind Hard Wax. That also explains why its focus is on sound. Oh. So the guys behind Hard Wax founded this place. This makes all the sense now. Now it's all starting to make sense. Even the branding and aesthetic and the fucking art direction is starting to make sense. Okay. In 2008, Rydell moved back to his birthplace, Wuppertal, to be closer to his home. At the time, the city's authorities were planning a major redevelopment of the area around the train station, with their plans including a club located in the underground bunker. It's not the first place where you'd want to launch an innovative club, says Rydell, but we're not so far away from the cities like Brussels, Amsterdam, and Berlin. So this is a big change. I think Wuppertal wants to you modernize the city, maybe inject some youth in there. And obviously the best place to do it is open up a club. And who knows, maybe the opening of Open Ground may spurn and encourage other people to open up other clubs, and then you start to have a whole scene kind of blow up there. That could be possible. It would be a total of 7 years to transform from the underground shelter into one of Europe's most appealing nightclub destinations. We realized that converting the bunker into a club was quite a task, says Rydell. We spent a long time planning, then a long time undertaking the development of the end, and we've created something very special. It's an amazing sound in 2 rooms and an area between them too. From the outset, the audio was the top of the agenda, and the choice of sound system was clear. Ernestus first connected with Funktion-One founder Tony Andrews in 2015. At the time, Andrews was working on a prototype 32-inch bass speaker with the aim of achieving the lowest frequencies ever produced by the big system. On hearing the F132 for the first time, Ernestus was hooked. That's something that I kind of found out, because I thought I was a bit of an audiophile myself, but you know, when you go to places like Berlin, you realize that people take sound very, very seriously over there. It's a full-time job, obviously. But one thing that I really appreciate going to those type of places like Bergamo for the first time, or other clubs over there, was how loud it was, but you can still talk to your friend or person next to you without screaming. That's something you don't get in London. I think in London or in most places in the UK, the sound is always super high. It's always redlining, but there's no ability to talk to the person next to you. You just, you know, everything's bleeding. It's all really ringing in your ears. But I feel like in other places, especially in Europe, you go to, the sound is loud, it's warm, but it doesn't kind of, you know, rip through your eardrums, and you can actually have a normal conversation with someone next to you. I'm sure that has something to do with frequencies. But again, I'm too dumb to understand that shit. It continues. It's giving us the energies right down to 24 hertz. Andrew said of the F132 launched in 2016. These sorts of frequencies, horn loaded in a new experience for everyone. It's typically been ported boxes before now. The output is amazingly clean due to the cone deformation. Because it's clean, we can push the amplifier to its full potential. It's powered up to 4 of them together, and it took me 2 weeks to get the molecular impression it would have on the body. I've never experienced anything like this. And again, I don't know what any of this shit means, but I could imagine for someone like myself that loves to get into fucking rabbit holes and that loves to geek out and shit, it probably can only take maybe a week at most of digging into fucking audiophile shit, really getting into sound systems, to then suddenly become an addict, and then suddenly you're fucking buying mad amplifiers and speakers from eBay from all far-flung places and trying to, you know, get the best sound out of them. This could be one of those type of things. So big up all my audiophiles out there. Andrews and the Funktion-One engineering team have been involved in Open Ground sound design from the early stages of the venue's development, working in close collaboration with Funktion-One and Germany's Benetton projects. The distributor and integrator, which also headquarters in Wuppertal, has strong links to the Rydell family through company founded by Benedict Kusch. Those bonds, together with the unwavering commitment to audio, ensure the installed systems stay true to the specification. It's a real pleasure to be a part of this from right to the beginning, says Kusch. Marcus and his team were really supportive to make sure that we had a place for the speakers in the right position. It's the first time ever in my working life that the air conditioning system has changed to give us the positions we needed. Fucking hell, incredible. adjusting the air conditioning to accommodate the speakers, not the other way around. Very, very German. Open ground main room sound system compromises of 4 Funktion-Ones EV6Es with the Evo 6ELs and 2 F221s bass speakers, and of course a pair of F132 subs. The booth is home to 2 PSM 318 DJ monitors. In the second room, the system has been designed to have 2 Res 2s, 2 F121s, 1 F124 and 1 F132, along with the F1201 for monitoring. To achieve the optimal listening environment, the venue also has an extensive acoustic treatment designed by designed by an acoustician. Wow, is that what you call yourself? So if you're into acoustics, you're an acoustician. Designed by acoustician Will Sing Wilson. That's a fucking amazing name, isn't it? Will Sing Wilson. Big up Will Sing Wilson. Throughout to manage the reflections of the space, which is naturally abundant in the hard surfaces. Until now, Wuppertal wasn't exactly a city associated with electronic music, particularly the kind that open ground programs. Germany's major clubbing hubs are mostly known for techno, but the club and its striking into one more electronic sounds, hosting DJs such as Calibre, Ron Morel, and Luca. At Open Ground, we like to present all genres, says Riedel. Of course, techno is important, but there is other sounds we love, from dubstep to bass to grime. That's what makes our club so special. I thought that for a worthwhile, we need to have international ambitions. That's the only way to make something like this work for a relatively small city. Many factors are out of our control, but the one thing we can commit to is providing the highest quality sound system and acoustic treatment. If we can do that and get that right, then you have something that will put you on the map and make the project worth pursuing for you and for artists who want to play there. Yeah, exactly, I agree. That's such a really interesting perspective to have on a nightclub. You're not only thinking about it based on your locale, you're also thinking about it internationally, how it's kind of seen around the world, its appeal around the world, because you need that tourist dollar, that tourist attention to also kind of keep it going, because you can't just rely on the locals, because, you know, the scene is still relatively small there, which is really interesting to think of. It's a really hard thing to kind of figure out and make work, but big up Open Ground for trying to do so. DJs are certainly eager to play Open Ground. Many of the future lineups are mouth-watering prospects of electronic music fans. Jez Rebel is one of the residents. In an interview she did with our team, she says that she feels like she comes here to rave rather than DJ. We have no bullshit policy alongside the sound in our lineups. This is made out popular with DJ. Okay, cool. Big up Jez Rebel as well. She's a legend here in London. Though Wuppertal may not be an obvious location for globally renowned clubs, the city offers opportunities that are reminiscent of what made Berlin appealing. The cost of living is relatively low, and there are plenty of places committable here which would work for the city's favor. It has some of the things that are in place that previously made Berlin attractive 3 years ago, like space and Laurence. Yeah, I've definitely realized. I was kind of specking out my dates to go because I want to check out the DVS one night and the Freddie K night, and from what I saw online, the prices for an Airbnb do remind me of how it was back in the day in Berlin. So you can do a weekend at Wuppertal and get like an Airbnb, for one person, like a 1-bedroom apartment or 2-bedroom for about 200 euros. And nowadays you can never get that in Berlin. It's impossible. You might have to pay 200 euros a night, but you can definitely find an apartment, an Airbnb, 2-bedroom apartment, for a weekend, and I mean, like, you know, arriving Friday, leaving on Monday for about 200 euros, which is fucking good, which kind of makes it way more worthwhile, because nowadays Berlin, I think for that same price, for that same days, you're probably looking at 400 euros, maybe even more, maybe even 500, especially on Airbnb, which is why most of the time now, I'm just sure about most people out there, when I do go to Berlin, it's either I stay in a decent hostel or I go to a hotel. But the times of going to an Airbnb are long gone because they're so pricey, unless you want to stay in somebody's room, which I don't really like anymore. I think I used to be on that when I was younger and shit, ratting around in someone's house and living in their room and just, you know, just sleeping and shitting in there and then leaving. But nowadays I actually don't mind, you know, waking up, having some breakfast and chilling and shit in someone else's space, but I want to know that no one else is there. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to be like, you know, going to the toilet and seeing some lady in her fucking bathroom about to shower before work. It's like, it's a bit weird. So yeah, but I think in general, I think most people are probably off the whole Airbnb thing anyway, man. It's just weird. Like when you'd rather just stay in a hotel. It's just easier. You have to do the whole fucking faffing around with the key. Like the key thing always annoyed me at Airbnb, having to fucking call them, arrange, make sure you pick it up. Nowadays it's a bit easier because I think a lot of people have those lockers that they just leave on the outside of their apartment, so they give you instructions. Okay, cool. If you want to check in, it's after this time. and put the code in on this locker and the keys in there, so you don't have to, you know, arrange any time to meet somebody or the owner. But back in the day when Airbnb first started, that was always the most annoying part of staying somewhere, the key pickup or the key handoff. So yeah, so big up all those people. Ultimately, our space is all about sound, says Riedel. We want open ground to be filled with nice people celebrating a good party who are there for the music. 7 years of setback solutions and hard work have been rewarded with a genuine excitement, and circulating Europe's electronic music and clubbing community was rooted in quality of the open ground sound system and dance floor experience rather than elaborate marketing strategy. Oh, they're sending shots to people, huh? Who are they sending shots to here? The results of this effort and attention to detail is incredible, says Kush. Special thanks to Tony Andrews and Funktion-One team for their support, and Bernard Blank and Hans Volk and the Open Ground team for their hard work. I'm really proud of what has been achieved here. So yeah, really good stuff. Can't wait to check out myself with my own eyes, and can't wait to make a review of it and what I think of it and shit, and put that up on my flipping pod and shit and let you guys know what I think of it. But I'm really excited about going there because it's fresh, it's new, and it sounds like it might be one of the best sounding clubs in the world. Can't wait to check it out. Can't wait to check it out. Big up everybody in the stream chat as well. I see you. Wagwan, everybody in the stream chat. Big up NJ Ranger. Long time no see, brother. Wagwan. Big up Mr. O. I see you there. I need the IDs. Oh, I think the IDs for those tunes, I think they were by Caliber. I think that's what it said in the end. So most of those songs were by Caliber. So check that out. Young Old Vibes, I see you. Wagwan Coiler, I see you. Wagwan. And it was my friend. That has been it. Thank you so much for tuning in. That has been the Action Zing Show, episode number 810. If it's the first time checking out the show and you're watching it via YouTube, make sure you smash the like button down below. If you listen to the audio side of the podcast, make sure you leave me a 5-star review. That'd be greatly appreciated. For my tune of the day, I'm going to be playing the one and only Tinashe. Tinashe has dropped a brand new album, which I'm a big fan of, which I'll probably end up reviewing on the next episode of the show. So definitely hang about and hear that very, very soon. A new album is called Quantum Baby, and I'm going to be playing a song from her album Quantum Baby called No Simulation. It's one of the first songs on the album. It's fucking amazing. 9 tracks long. Fucking stupendous, perfect album. Check out if you haven't checked it out. So that's gonna be my tune of the day, playing for those of you to the audio side of the pod. And yes, random show is happening later. Random show is happening later this evening. Random show on the Random Show channel, so check it out. I'm coming there. It should be fine. I've got everything set up on the Random Show channel, so you should be hearing a random show from there very, very soon. So for those of you checking out the show, wait for the random show. That'll be happening in about a few hours. So maybe about 11 o'clock my time, there'll be a random show happening. So definitely keep an eye on that one. It'll be happening very, very soon. So big up everybody for tuning in. I appreciate all of you for hanging out. Thank you so much for tuning into the Zinger Show. Peace.